Hello, everyone. We are here for some Pauper. I got shipped a super sweet deck list right as I was about to get my stuff set up here, and I got distracted with that. So give me a sec to get all my shit together, and then we'll be ready to fire this. Alright, so I am always playing blue and Pauper. I love blue. I like accumulated knowledge. I liked Gush. I like all that kind of stuff. I like counter spells. But today, I think I want to be attacking. So, I have built in front of me Bogles, Mono White Heroic, and if there's time at the end of the stream, and if I can get the cards together, I found it. I was given a sweet Reanimator list that I want to try. This is not the whole deck, obviously. I'm going to need to acquire some cards, but let's go to that at the end. In the meantime, gotta get these decks into Cardboard Live so you all know what I'm doing. So Bogles is an interesting deck in that it just tries to build a giant boat. If you're not familiar with the deck, basically what this does is you cast a hexproof creature, of which there are 11 in the deck. They're all right here. And then you put a whole bunch of pants on it and you make it huge. And you try to kill your opponent with a single gigantic creature that they can't interact with. And the best answers to this sort of strategy in the format are the edict effects. That's like Chainer's Edict, Diabolic Edict, but those decks aren't usually Astrolabe decks unless we play against some madman on Teachings. Wink, wink. Most of the removal being played right now is Lightning Bolt, Galvanic Blast, and Journey to Nowhere because of Astrolabe. Because the best shell for Astrolabe is Boros base, and then you can add blue if you so choose. I don't know why anyone wouldn't add blue, because blue is great. But this deck, I think, might line up very well with the Pauper metagame right now. And the mono white deck, White Heroic, basically tries to do the same thing. Only instead of being untargetable, the creatures just get really, really big. Like this deck hits harder and faster than Bogles, but it is susceptible to removal in a way that Bogles is not. Do I have all the creatures? What's up, KM613? You're here for attacking day on the Bosch and Roll stream. Weird, right? Who attacks? Who does that? Yep. I also got shipped a sweet list right before I went live, so I'm doing all my deck list updates and stuff right now that I usually do. I was busy building a deck, but we'll be ready to roll here in a second. All right, the Bogles deck is loaded. Loading up the Heroic deck. Then we'll be ready to roll. All right, the decks are in. And I just copied this list straight up. So Flag Bearer is good against white removal and black removal, and it's irrelevant against red removal because your creature is going to be too big. Guy number 3, this is not a brew. Mono white heroic is always like just existing in tier 2 on Pauper. But I just think that these Bogles and heroic decks line up pretty well right now, because a lot of the decks are trying to dirtle with Astrolabe. Like, they just want to cast and recast the same Astrolabe 6 times and eventually pull ahead on cards, and if they're dead on turn 4, that doesn't matter. So I'm just going to try to exploit the Astrolabe metagame by attacking really hard. That's the plan for today. Let's see if it works. Usually when I try to get clever by playing an attacking deck into a control-y mid-range meta, I just get punished and can never win. But I hope I'm wrong this time. All right, let's do Bogles first. Bogles is a more established deck. I think Bogles is a lot better. Yeah, just Pauper today. Yes, I think Bogles is probably a stronger deck than White Heroic. Did I have the right deck? Okay, good. It's true, I did win an invitational with mono white once, but it was in a very different format than this one. And also behind the scenes over here while we're playing, I'm going to be trying to finish acquiring the cards for this sweet Reanimator deck. Turns out I don't own a lot of the necessary cards for this deck. Guess while we're waiting for an opponent, we can just work on this. Alright, Reanimator. Look at this bad boy. It's coming together. Like, obviously many things are missing right now, but this looks promising. Oh, never mind, we have an opponent. We'll have to wait. Yeah, so, sorry everyone who endured my previous stream where my mic sounded weird. I learned that when I reset my computer, which caused Streamlabs to update, and somehow Streamlabs turned off my good mic, this one right here, and defaulted to my webcam mic, this one right here, which sucks way bad. Alright, so this hand does not have a threat in it. Thus, we must mulligan it. This hand also does not have a threat in it. Unless you count this egg. But I don't. So, never having played this deck before, I'm not sure how deep we're supposed to go. I'm gonna keep this one. I might just lose, but I also might just win. Yeah, with the great merger of formats. Oh, nice. That was a good draw. And we don't have to play around days. Off we go. Though, we're up against the Spellstutter Sprite deck, which they're not going to be able to remove the Scout, but they do have Spellstutter Sprite in their deck, and that card is mean. Oh, good. They're spending a turn ninjaing. That means we get to get some 1-drops down. Really wish that was an untapped land, but that'll be alright. Yeah, so the great, I was saying, the great format merger added 2 new reanimation spells to the Pauper format. There used to be just Exhume, as far as I know, right? Like, nothing else is common. But now there are two 4-mana white reanimation spells in the format that were not there before. So Esper Reanimator has new life, new legs. Alright, so they can cast Counterspell or Spellstutter Sprite, but not both. And I can play around at least one of those. I think I'm going to... Like, I can't jam one of my 3s in case they have actual Counterspell. I could jam... I'll play Abundant Growth first. I want to target a green land with this. Alright, so I'll play Abundant Growth first. If they have Spellstutter, they're going to do it. And then I'll jam Fist of Ironwood. Alright, they didn't do it. Ooh. So they'll definitely counterspell Ethereal Armor. Yeah, ooh. Piece of candy. I'm going to save Ethereal Armor because it costs 1 for a turn where I can try to overtax what they're doing. Like, if I draw a land, I can jam both of these, and they're going to have a hard time countering both in one turn. I also don't think I can attack this turn because I don't want to trade Glade Cover Scout for a Spellstutter Sprite. Yeah, it's possible they just don't have it, but I'm not risking my only threat here. Like, I can double block this ninja now and get it off the board, and then we're just facing nothing. Yeah, poor Saprolings. Listen, these are not a real threat. I don't care what Saproling advocates are in the chat right now, but those are not a real threat. Sorry, tree people. Come on, untapped land. Lame. Though this is a land for next turn. It sucks that this is my only forest, so we have to boat up. It's gonna name white. Yep, choo-choo. So I'm gonna go for Dillo Cloak this turn. They can't spell stutter it, they have to counterspell it. And then I can double spell next turn. And if it resolves, we just win. I'm not sure if they're mono blue or if they just haven't got red mana yet. Like, they had Evolving Wilds. They could have gotten it if they wanted it. But it's also possible they just don't want it. I'm willing to believe that. Alright. Don't show me a counterspell. Alright, Ponder's good. If they don't hold up double blue, they can't do anything. Oh, please ninja me. Please ninja me. Coward. Alright, so if they counter the Ethereal Armor, which they have to, then they're not going to counter the Ancestral Mask, which they also have to. Like, both of these are the 2 best auras in the deck. I'm usually on the other side of this matchup and just really sad. Like, Bogles is really, really tough for these blue decks. Alright. So we baited. And now we drop the hammer. I have an 11-9. They're dead in 2 turns. And most blue decks, most of these like fairy decks can't answer this in the main. Yeah, yep, scooped it up. Stu is usually happy, it's true. Alright, now this sideboard gets real weird. Because this list has 8 sideboard cards that no lands in the deck can produce mana to cast. So I don't think we need Crimson Acolyte. I don't think we need Lifelink. We might want Dispel. But Dispel hits actual counterspell, but not... We definitely want Gutshot. We probably want Electrickery. Alright, so we want definitely 4 of these, maybe 6 of these. What do we cut? Or a Gnarlid dies to burn spells, but it should be too big. Nerd to the core, listen, man. I'm trying to diversify my range here. I think that you missed the intro, but what I'm trying to do here is exploit this Astrolabe metagame, because everyone is just dirtling with Astrolabes, and I want to attack my opponent dead. I've never played this deck in my life, but it's probably pretty good right now. Artusa's strength seems insane. Trample is going to be huge against this opponent. Maybe Gnarl is just too slow. Anything that get hit with a lightning bolt probably sucks. The villain is on mono blue, possibly blue-red, but we didn't see any red cards or lands. So I want these 4 for sure. I probably want these. This deck plays 3 Rancor. One just has different art. Gonna cut Fling. Green Cartouche? Isn't Trample good? Yeah, the Fling is out. There's a slight delay. I figured out Fling just before the chat did. Yeah, this looks presentable. Alright, yeah, I guess I have lots of Trample. And it doesn't matter. If I can put them into the Abyss, like, they can't answer a 4-4 or whatever. A 4-4 hexproof. Just can't do it. Alright, unfortunately we have the Guildgate draw here. If we draw an untapped forest, we're going to be driving. Ooh, Electrickery. That'll be good later. Let's hope they don't have their own Electrickery. Alright, they continue to not get red lands when they could. Alright, I guess we'll know for sure. Alright, so we're going to get to resolve a Bogle, because they need double blue to counter anything. I suspect they're mono blue, though, the way they've played this game. And the last game. Alright, first Guildgate deployed. I'm going for the actual Bogle over the Glade Cover Scout because it's beautiful. And because if they are a red splash, they could Pyroblast this later. They can't Pyroblast this. So, just in case, they're a complete maniac who boarded in Pyroblast against Bogles. My Bogles are going to need some pants pretty quick, though. Like, if they don't play a second untapped island right now, I'm going to jam Armadillo Cloak. Forget cycling, just monster this thing up. Yeah, if Cloak sticks, they can never race it. They topped. All right, so they do have stuff. Now the question is, spell stutter sprite or counterspell? What am I playing around? I'm gonna put them to the test right now. All right, Dees, we did it. Like being on the other side of this matchup a lot, I can tell you that sitting behind a spell starter sprite for 2 feels pretty safe. Like that, the way they were set up just now on that turn is about the best you can hope for. However, I cast a 3 mana card instead of a 2 mana card. Yep. So they almost certainly have spell starter sprite. If they have a ninja, they're going to do it out of desperation here. Yep. So unless they've drawn 2 new cards, and if one of them wasn't counterspell, they did. They probably did bring in Swirl. I usually did when I was in that matchup. So we're just building the bigger boat here. They're a long way off of Swirl. Yep, there's that sprite. Called it. And I gotta learn how to F6. I usually have to maintain priority during my opponent's turn, but it doesn't matter in this deck. So we know one of their cards in hand is Fairy Seer. The second cloak will be good for +4/+4 and double lifelink. Because Dillo Cloak is not lifelink. It's a trigger attached to Armadillo Cloak that says you gain that much life. So I'll be gaining 18 if this happens. Oh no, did they draw a counterspell? Curfew. Oh no, they're so smart. Who does this? Wow, alright, they were ready. Curfew is not always in these decks. Oh, they had a second sprite. Alright, we just played into a blowout. Rough. Alright, now we probably lose. I wanted to gut shot there so they couldn't just bounce their sprite and then they'd have to bounce ninja and they'd have an awkward ninja in their hand, but the second sprite is trouble. And now we know they have another sprite. Alright, their deck having Curfew in it means we just have to play game 3 a little differently. Like, I had plenty of creatures in hand to play around Curfew. We're not quite dead, but we're very close. This Ash Barrens looks pretty bad now. Oh no, they weren't even scared of that. They have a spell stutter and they didn't even care. They might have Electrickery. We're definitely dead to that. Though, I do want to see if they have it and if they brought it in. Man, Curfew and Delver. Or in Fairies. Ambitious stuff. Well, we're already dead to Electrickery. Let's just go. Not getting curfewed again. These red sideboard cards are really weird. These aren't blocking. They might as well attack. ice. Okay. Ice does not have many targets. Neither does fire. It's weird they didn't ice. If they were gonna ice a land just to cycle, they should have hit one of my green sources in my upkeep. That was weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, I got enough Bogles to not get ninja'd here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That adds a whole turn to the clock and makes them draw less cards. They probably just have like 5 counterspells in hand right now. Now, we know they have 2. They have a Sprite and this counterspell. Ooh. None of this matters. Alright, yeah, we're done. We dead. Curfew. I bet that's a 1 of 2. But that means we definitely want Dispel. I want both Dispels now that we know about that. And that the Electricity just rotted in our hand the entire game. It's so weird that you just like need Abundant Growth. A strangely built deck. You think Electricity is bad? Rather Pilgrim. Alright, I'm willing to believe you. Pilgrim. Alright. Yeah, I guess, like, we just... Yeah, but you have to name red, which is annoying. Like, Abundant Growth, you just get it if you need it. But, yeah, Gutshot's still great. Listen, Grumbler. If you were here on time and heard the intro, you would have known that I'm trying to attack the decks that want to dirtle with Astrolabe. I want to make them dead. There's also nothing wrong with increasing your range as a player. Alright, I'm going to keep this even though it's kind of slow. But I have access to my colors. I have Dispel. And this Pilgrim might do something someday. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, if you don't want Electricity against the Fairy deck, where do you want Electricity? No, there are no poop emojis. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, the alternative to increasing your range as a player is just casting Muldrifter your whole life, and that's totally fine. Okay, so Heliod's Pilgrim is gonna resolve, because Daze doesn't exist in the format, and I can't imagine this deck plays Foil. Ideally, we just draw a Bogle this turn and go completely gangbusters. Ooh, we did. How does that change things? They top-bottomed off Preordain, and they bottomed off Fairy. Heliod's Pilgrim plays around Curfew. Ooh, but casting Bogle this turn plays around... Oh, I have Dispel. Okay. So I can hold up Dispel and get this Bogle into play right now with a sizable pants on. Alright, yeah. Nerd to the Core found that line a lot faster than I did. We got there eventually. I have no muscle memory when it comes to playing this deck. Ooh, splat. Well, I'm just gonna attack because I'm winning this race, And if I draw a 4th land, I can mask with Dispel up. Or I can Pilgrim with Dispel up. Like, I have lots of options with a 4th land. Oh, red mana. Look out. Augur. Echoing Truth. Bummer. That's a good one. Come on, 4th land. Not quite. Maybe they'll Echoing Truth these. That would be great. So I think I want to name white on this. Oh, I should have put that on the other one. Whatever. So if I attack, it lets them echo me, and then I have to use my Dispel. That's fine. I'd rather burn off my Dispel now when I know they can't just Spell Stutter it. And they should be suspicious. Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, but hitting Ethereal Armor lets Augur eat my Gladecover Scout. So Curfew's not that bad here because we've only committed 1 aura to our creature, and then next turn I can cast Heliod's Pilgrim, which just makes Curfew embarrassing. And then we can go to Bogletown from there. This is my technology, by the way. I started putting Echoing Truth in the sideboard of Blue-Red Control because of Bogles. I invented that shit. And now I'm being punished. Why didn't they attack with Fairy Seer? That's really suspicious. Are they gonna block? Oh, I guess I don't have Trample yet. Okay, so they might block. Alright. Fair. Yeah, I forgot I don't have Trample yet, because you just usually do. Alright, well, let's hope that it is Spell Starter Sprite that they have, and not Counterspell. If they don't Counterspell this... Okay, they did. That's smart. They know stuff. Alright, so now the question is... I think I just keep the pressure on. Like, I could have left back Gladecover Scout to make sure that they don't get their steady stream of cards, but they're on a 3-turn clock. Like, they're in the Abyss. And it's Curfew or bust. But they're gonna see so many cards. Oh, that Curfew's so scary. If I draw a second creature, that's the best thing we could do. There's Augur. Do not show me Curfew. They did not shuffle that Ponder. Alright, Preordain. This fun of Curfew is just tick, tick, ticking. Alright, Fairy Seer. If we draw a land, we can double mask, and they are literally dead. Oh, Rebogle. Okay. Curfew test. Alright. It was not a curfew. I guess I'll lead with this. So they'll probably, yeah, if they have counterspell, now's the time. Yeah, it sucks we didn't draw land there. We could have tested with Mask and then jammed Dillo Cloak for the win. That makes sense, Alex. Because lifelink also puts the game out of reach. Yeah, I should have tested with Mask. Alright, 2 counter spells in the graveyard. 1 fairy in play. We have a bubble against curfew. A hexproof bubble, so they'd have to electrickery into curfew. So now we have kind of an interesting decision. Like, if I put Mask on Bogle, then I've diversified my threats so that chumping isn't as good a plan, but I've also opened myself up to curfew. Yeah, why did they play Ash Barrens is a good question. 1, 2... They must be planning to use all their mana. Do they have 2 sprites? Because this doesn't double spell. It could electrickery plus sprite. Oh, they're icing my land. Okay. That's a reasonable thing to do. Alright, I'm gonna attack first. If they chump, then they can't spell stutter my Mask. And if they don't chump, then they definitely have spell stutter. Alright, so I could pass the turn and just give them no value on the spell stutter, but then they'll still have it next turn. I could just play Ledgewalker to get the spell stutter out of their hand. Yeah, I think I'm gonna run this out. Yeah. To the surprise of no one. That ice was pretty good. One, two, three, four, five. Alright, yeah, if I had baited with Mask several turns ago, the Dillo Cloak would be live right now. Yeah, I think we're gonna lose this because we don't have any trample. And the Ninja picking up the Sprite was perfect, just punished my line to get Sprite out of their hand. And if there are any bolts left in their deck, yeah, we're not dead, it's just... We're pretty dead, though. I definitely have to stop attacking. God, Augur also. Oh, there's the curfew, right on time. That was not one of my outs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we are just dead. Alright. Yeah, we got beat by a better deck. Blue-red Scred, best deck in the world. But it sucks that I'm on the receiving end of it, but they chose to put curfew in their deck, so they're very smart. Like, normally, like that shows one of the weaknesses of Bogles. Like, they are all in on a one giant creature. So if they did not choose to include curfew in their deck building decisions, then they would have lost game 2. That would have been an easy 2-0. But because they had curfew, we had to play weird in game 3, and we just straight up lost to it in game 2. Yeah, I should sideboard in 4 deserts against the fairy decks. They can never beat that. Blossoming Sand should be a desert. I guess it wouldn't be a desert anymore if it's blossoming. It somehow found the necessary precipitation to not be a desert anymore. Alright, keep. We have a turn 1 Bogle. Blossoming with cacti, that's true. They do flower. Some of them. Do all cacti flower? I'm not an expert on cactuses. Cactus. Alright, we are playing against snow-covered basic island again, which should not be a surprise. That's why we picked this deck. Let's see if we can actually punish him. Oh, is this FAMs? Alright, I don't think I need this Blossoming Sands. I'd rather get more stuff onto the battlefield. Yeah, definitely FAMs. Like, who else would play Azorius Chancery? Yeah, if you signed up for my cactus-related thoughts and feelings, then you're in the wrong place. So I did go to Arizona in college, and I got a super sweet MySpace default picture back when that was a thing, hanging out with giant cactus. I have multiple succulents, but are those cactuses, or is that like the same word for a different thing, or what? Like, I don't actually know the answer to that question. All right, so Orinarlid. Yeah, I know they're the same family, but are they like interchangeable words? So I could invest in the future with Orinarlid, or I could just go to Pound Town with Dillo Cloak. Yeah, well, both of them clock them. It's just this hits for 1. All right, Gnarlid is better here. Oh, they have Snap, right? All right, so Gnarlid will clock them in the future. Yeah, okay. Having just recently lost to this deck in the Pauper Premier League, I should know it's in the deck better. And I'm never going to put an aura on Orinarlid, but it is going to force them to snap it. Alright. Damn. Yeah, the summertime schedule is nice, New Bongo, when I just got to stream when I wake up instead of having to, like, think about it or do anything. Alright, yeah, the Orinarla getting snapped for positive mana was rough. Okay, so I can Dillo Cloak next turn, or I could Dillo Cloak now and then Mask next turn. I should have played Blossoming Sands. Oh wait, no, here, I had a plan. I remember what it is now. Alright, so if I cast Heliod's Pilgrim, getting... No, none of this makes sense. It's all bad. Yeah, I was thinking of Pilgriming now and getting... The problem is that the card I was going to get costs white, and I don't have double white. Like, I could get Rancor now and Mask next turn. But I don't get to attack this turn if I do that. I think that's fine, though. I think I have to use my mana. Yeah, I wanted to get ethereal armor, but did not fully comprehend that I don't have double white. The mana in this deck's kind of a mess. They have a 1/3, so I can't even attack. Unbeatable 1/3. F6 value. I also completely intentionally, it was a conscious choice to play this version and not the ones with Astrolabe. Like, I want to do a Astrolabe free stream just for science. Like, I'm not a person who's like, you know, fuck Astrolabe. The format's dead now. Like, that's not me. Like, I like playing with the cards that exist. But just for science, no Astrolabes today. They have 2 power? That's not enough. Let's go, team. The MCQ has a more solid mana base? What is the MCQ? Mythic Qualifier? Oh, did Bogles win the PTQ? That one that happened? Gotcha. Let's see if we can relive that experience. So they are going off with double Godfarer's Faithful. Ooh, the fists. They can't remove or counter anything, right? They might have one negate main, but mostly not. I think we're just racing. Go, Bogle. Moment's Peace, you dick. Yeah, apparently they are banned with Moment's Peace. This sucks. I guess that's the Stonehorn Dignitary of this build. Though, that's gross. Well, we're dead as soon as we see a flicker. What are the chances they have one? They've only drawn half their deck. Sure. Alright, well. Here's all my cards. Go. So we have to work through this Moment's Peace. They get another turn guaranteed, plus any wall gets them 2 more turns, and any flicker ends the game on the spot. Oh wait, no, they need a second wall. Because they can't get back the flicker if they're getting back the Moment's Peace. So they need a second wall before they can do that. They have drawn 30 cards this game, though, so we're probably just completely dead. Alright, there's the second wall. Oh, they got back Snap. That makes sense. They're just looking for flicker now. They know they have a free turn to breathe. Ugh. Shiny Psyduck, thanks for the follow. Alright, we're dead. We're dead. I would play this out if I was just sitting here alone by myself, but with all of you hanging out watching, trying to be entertained, we don't need to watch this happen. Alright, so Dispel definitely happening. And Flaring Pain definitely happening. Hey, Shiny Psyduck. I play Eternal format, so like Legacy, Vintage, Pauper, and Modern. Like Standard and Limited are mostly the only things I don't really do. Alex hates Gnarlid, and I believe him. Fling is probably... Ooh, Fling would have been an out. No, they were at 1,000,000. My favorite Pokemon. So I gotta say that I am I'm many generations behind on Pokemon. Like I'm not anti-Pokemon in any kind of way. Yeah, Fist is bad. We don't need to play around Edicts. And we gotta cut one more. Cartouche? Got one Pilgrim. Okay. Alright, there's only one snappable creature left in my deck. Let's do it. Yeah, so I'm many generations behind on Pokemon. I also haven't thought about what my favorite Pokemon is in a very long time. Weird, I just got a phone call and caller ID says it's from Jamaica. I'm sure they're not trying to sell me a timeshare. You were right. You would be right. So, my first starter back in Pokemon Blue version was Bulbasaur, but then I switched to Squirtle in basically all subsequent plays. I love them both, but Bulbasaur is my shit at first, but I grew to love Squirtle. So, you're right, Shiny Psyduck. I'm about the water type life. So it's possible I should have led on Sprawl, but I don't think that's like I think having the so I'm gonna name white. I have another Sprawl in case I need to name red. I also really liked psychic types like Alakazam. Like that stuff was sweet. All right. So we're going deeper and deeper into the no mana hole. So I'm gonna play a Sprawl on red. What's up, Odysseus? And then next turn I can Cloak Up. And then I can Mask Up. And then I can Flaring Pain my way through this. I literally don't know what that card is, Alex. Haven Fogbringer. Oh god. Yeah, that's rough. Odysseus, I do play Modern a lot in real life, but my Moto collection does not overlap into the Modern realm very well at all. Right, so I'm gonna Mask first because that hits the hardest. And if I can start any like chump I can start forcing hurts their future flickers. Like they wouldn't have blocked a Dillo Cloak there, but now this thing's in the graveyard. No, I have not played Death and Taxes since the Invitational. I played that deck in literally one tournament ever. Yeah, I recently got second place at Star City Pittsburgh with Grixis Wurza. That's the deck I've been playing lately, and I'm really impressed with it. And I think Phoenix is also really good too. Like that's totally my style. All right, I'm gonna get a little protection from curfew in play just in case. Yes, I won that invitational. That deck was just good for that weekend. Never again, and never since. All right, let's hope they turtle up behind a Moment's Peace here. You're never safe. Yeah, I wrote an article about Grixis Werza for Star City Games last week, Odysseus, if you want to see what I'm up to in Modern. Yeah, I heard Hogak won the Modern Challenge. That's crazy. Alright, so they can't cast Flaring Pain this... or, Moment's Peace this turn, right? Oh, yeah, they can. Okay. So, what I can do here is... Okay, so I can Ancestral Mask and just proactively Flaring Pain. That's lethal, right? Yeah, so suit that up. Be on GAC for Columbus. Smart. Alright, there we go. That should close any window they think they have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, they are dead zos. Yeah, Sunscape Familiar randomly reducing green cards too. The flavor text came into play there. Alright, I don't think I'm changing anything about my sideboard. Flaring Pain was hot though. That was nice. Alright, same plan. Let's do it. Are we sure we don't like Cartouche? That can kill a familiar. Oh, this hand is fast. Like, I'm gonna be attacking for 3 on turn 2. I did not go to Philly. I took this past weekend off. I've been on the road a lot lately. Yeah, I'll be in Columbus this weekend, though. Yeah, that's how team events go, Kagesuro. I feel you. In Pittsburgh, specifically, which is where I live, the finding a standard player is really hard. Oh, I can go deeper. I can sprawl first. Yeah. I sprawl first, and I can get both. I can attack for 4. Down the line. What does Karn do for you in that deck, Kyle? Like, Urza is already the most important mode on Karn, whatever, of Urza. Scion of Urza? Is that what that card is called? Yeah, Scion of Urza. Or, like, actual Urza already does the most important thing on that card. And Great Creator, I mean, I guess you could build some sort of... Like, if you're worried about the mirror specifically... Ooh, Return to Nature. That's some hot tech. Not hot enough. And you could build with either of those cards. I'm just not sure that they fix any problems that you have. The Growth Chamber, that's not the one they wanted. 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. So I could... I could put Rancor on this and get Pilgrim into play. Or I could just Dillo Cloak and lose a mana. Yeah, alright. Alex and I are on the same wavelength here. You should be using all your mana here. This also plays around any random, like, curfew effect or edict. As long as my Bogle got trample this turn, that's all that really mattered. Like, Dillo Cloak or Heliod Pilgrim Up Rancor were the two plays. I mean, Kyle, you jamming Urza into that deck, it's just like a lot of deck building space. It's certainly powerful. Or jamming Karn into the Urza deck. Like, Karn's great. It's just like, does it actually add anything? Alright. Let's draw Flaring Pain. Tilt. Alright. So I can just, like, load up my monster here for when I draw the Flaring Pain. Large. Large. Alright, so now they're dead as soon as they can't Moment's Peace for one turn, or if I draw Flaring Pain or Dispel. Oh yeah, Karn obviously is the replacement in the prison deck. Uh oh, they have a familiar. We need a Flaring Pain team. They're at 2. Did we miss damage anywhere? I don't know. Snapping their Muldrifter. Astrolabe's so good again, because they can use their Growth Chamber to evoke Muldrifter if they want, and still... Or not. I was going to say they could save their... Oh, no, they can still do all the things I said. Flaring Pain. Flaring Pain. Flaring Pain. Alright, Moment's Peace is out of the graveyard now. Flaring Pain. Table Space, thanks for that sub. Make sure you get your mileage out of those sub-only emotes. They're great. Alright, I don't think there's a reason to cast any other cards. Gotta add the poop. And that is on brand. Kyle's got lots of emotes down there. Alright, well, I'm F6th, and let's hope that they can't Moment's Peace again. Though I'm sure if they're main decking one, they have some other large number in the board. Or we could just draw Flaring Pain and make this easy. Yeah, these daytime streams are perfect for the people who are bored at work. That's exactly what I'm here for. Concede the match. Concede, 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 concede. Yeah, paperclip chains were my shit as a child. Well, they didn't concede, so I have to assume they have another Moment's Peace. Yep. Flaring Pain. Flaring Pain. Damn it. A Moment's Peace is a hell of a magic card. Wow, somebody used 4 of their emote slots to cobble together a single octopus. That must be a big time streamer. I don't even have 4 emote slots. Oh, is that basic to Twitch? Yeah, Renin 6 does seem insane. Like, I follow Lawrence Harmon on Twitter, and you should too if you like Legacy, everyone, because he's very smart. But he's been tweeting his lists, and he says that his like 4-color control list just like can never lose to a fair deck, but probably can never beat a combo deck. Oh, lovely. Thanks, Vanwedge. I'm glad you're here. Oh no, the beatdown begins. Fuck, we need a flaring pain. So bad. Pain. Pain. Come on, you dick. I don't need red because I already have a land that taps for red, and it's the same one. Alright, so 2 moments pieces are exiled now. I think Arkham's Astrolabe will continue to go through the roof. Oh, damn. They had a second disenchant, so now Flaring Pain's not even a live draw. That's rough. Ugh. This is so frustrating from the Bogle side, but so satisfying from the player that hates Bogle's side. Yeah, both gut shots are in. Oh wait, no, there's no gut shots. I wish. We boarded incorrectly. Damn. Kyle, I am not a financial expert at all. So, couldn't tell you when the time to unload Astrolabes are. And if it gets banned in Pauper, you should be ready. Like, I don't know. If it doesn't get banned in Pauper, it's just gonna go completely gangbusters. And if it does get banned in Pauper, then it's probably still gonna be great in Legacy. Alright, so they have Return to Nature in their hand. So they can destroy Ancestral Mask. Or they could just cast their 3rd Moments Piece, goddammit. My life is pain. Yes, this game is so over. Yeah, we had a long window to draw Flaring Pain, but now we are dead. We are deceased. Though I guess we could theoretically still... Unless they literally kill us this turn, we could still runner Abundant Growth, hit the cantrip into Flaring Pain next turn. Like, Flaring Pain is still an out. There's one Spider Umbra in my deck too, so if I can gain reach, then they can't actually clock me. Yeah, they have a lot of disenchants. Maybe they'll accidentally flashback Deep Analysis. Alright, I got lots of those. You're a fiend, Chris. An absolute fiend. Alright, I'm gonna cycle Ash Barrens just to take a look at my deck, see what my options are here. Alright, we got two. Oh, we still have Fling. Alright. We got outs. We have two Flaring Pains and Fling. We need red mana to do any of that. So they have Moment's Peace in the graveyard. They think they're safe. Alright, let's try to burn through this Moment's Peace. I'm sure they have a Flicker by now. Do we know they have a Flicker? Yeah, they must have Ephemerate in hand. Oh, they had Negate. Alright, sure. Interesting. They went for Disenchant instead of Moment's Peace. They must think they can beat this fair and square. They can. They can. I don't have Trample anymore. They can flicker a blocker. Alright. Yeah, we're dead. I'm convinced. There's still outs, but I'm not going to make you all sit through it. Alright, let's try to win a match. How about that? And still salvage our 3-2. They had so many blockers, it didn't matter. Like, I guess he still had some... Yeah, it's... We were very dead. He had something like 40 toughness in play through all the walls. Just wall tribal. Yeah, so far my my sick read of playing Bogles in this Astrolabe meta has been absolutely punished. Alright, I'll continue working on this sweet Reanimator deck. Yeah, any league can go weird. That's life. Dimir Guildmage. Look at all these Dimir Guildmages I have. Oh, I can't even field a matching set. That's great. Yeah, I'm willing to believe my version's bad. I have put zero effort into tuning Bogles at all. This list that I copied 5-0'd the last two rounds of leagues, the last two rounds of publishing, like two different players 5-0'd with this exact 75. So I just figured they knew what they were doing. But never believe what anyone's doing. Everyone's wrong. Alright, we have an opponent. Yes, I do have the correct art duresses. I've been playing Magic Online long enough for that to be a thing. Alright, we got Bogles and Pants. Alright, Tron. I would love to shithouse Tron. Can we just do that once? Tron is my least favorite deck that exists in Pauper. I will say that on stream. No fear of repercussion. Oh, and they're gonna have turn 3 Tron. Perfect. Never a break. Alright, we've upped the ante. Not only is Tron the worst deck to exist in Pauper. It's the worst deck to exist in Magic the Gathering. I do. Yeah, Cloud Post was even worse than Tron. That's certainly true. I do like Tron as it exists in Pauper better than as it exists in Modern. Ooh, alright. They skipped making Tron for a turn so they can get colored mana. Alright. That probably means they have some counter spells. So I can play around Condescend by doing this first. And they can't prohibit that anyway. They could counter this. Alright, they can't. Like, I do prefer the gameplay of you have some, like, cool controller combo engine that eventually your mana reaches, like, a point where you can do stuff with it. Like, I like that Pauper gameplay more than just, like, literal unbeatable 7-drops. Yeah, I think if Flicker were banned, Tron would be totally reasonable. Oh, I hate unbeatable 7-drops. Alright, so armor does more damage than cloak, so that's what I'm doing with my 1 white mana. Alright, they're dead if they don't have Moment's Peace. But of course they do. Oh, Pulse of Marasa. Okay, that's better. I can live with that. Oh, do they have both? No, they don't have double green. Alright. Oh, smush. Yeah, I also am okay with unbeatable 7-drops on turn 7, but like the 1-2-3 Karn in Modern, bullshit. Hate it. Oh no, do you have Stonehorde Dignitary? Wow. Oh my god. Now we're gonna lose this too. God, is everybody on Bogles right now in the leagues? Like, why is this happening? Why is everyone so ready? Yeah, Bogles confirmed poop emoji. Absolutely true. Alright, so this thing is already big enough. I think I just want to get abundant growth so I can dig for fling. I have not made a land drop yet, so that's cool. Alright. We're just going for fling here. Maybe they just won't have a flicker. What are the chances? 1 fling in the deck. Alright, they evoked Muldrifter. I hope that's desperation and not because they just already have flicker. Well, if they stack their triggers wrong anyway. They stacked both of those Muldrifter triggers wrong. Let's hope it's because they're just bad and not because they just have everything anyway. Yeah, we just need fling off the top and it needs to resolve. No big deal. Maybe they'll just concede here also. Like, they actually do need a flicker to keep this going. Though it's likely they have one. They're 21 cards into their deck at this point. Oh, they tapped an Urza's Tower. Good. That means flicker's coming. Oh, just map? Alright. Attacking with Muldrifter to send a message. Come on, Fling. Alright, so... And are they dead, or do they have the, something else? Mystical teachings, great. Alright. Now we're in the Moment's Peace box, and next turn they can teachings for Flicker, and then we have to draw Fling. Jesus. Alright, we're 1 out of 44 to draw Fling. Though I do believe we will win on the spot when we draw Fling. This is so frustrating. There's 2 opponents in a row. I think all Tron decks have some number of counterspells. They're also playing really weirdly. Like, the way they're timing their spells and taking all their actions is really, really strange. I'm down with that, Alex. We can ban Mnemonic Wall. I would not be upset. The old mid-combat mystical teachings. I guess he had mana floating, so that was the option to do it. Yeah, all Tron decks have some number of counterspells, especially with mystical teachings. Like, you don't even need that many. You just play like 1. Yeah, Flicker and Wall are both really good. But they're obviously busted together. I feel like the way this opponent has played, though, they will give me a window to fling them if I draw Fling. I can safely say it's been suboptimal. Alright, Moment's Peace is in the graveyard right now. We might be able to... Oh, I can't attack, right? Yeah, okay, never mind. Doesn't matter. Let's see, do they know how to target their wall? They do. KMC, you know perfectly well that the Tron deck is bullshit. Like having access to 7 mana on turn 3 in a format where other people are doing stuff like Utopia Sprawl to get ahead. And then not only that, like, and it's not like when you get to 7 mana, you can start casting like Wretched Griff. It's like a powerful 3/4 flyer that replaces itself. It's like you get an unbeatable wall combo lock engine. All right, I'm gonna concede. I'm not playing to the 1 outer fling. Like, the fact that you get all of these things in the same deck is so stupid. Like, they should have to work to capsize you out. They shouldn't be able to just, like, loop walls starting on, like, turn 4. Alright, Flaring Pain, and I think I want Dispel. Alright, Fling's good. Gnarlid? Yeah, yeah, like, in my deck that has no card advantage of any kind. Yeah, now that they've printed Ephemerate, like, the Flicker desk would just go straight to Ephemerate. Like, would you rather have flickers in the format or have the most busted flickerable thing in the format? Like, I think flickers are fine. Like, if the Tron deck was just using flicker as, like, hit Stonehorn Dignitary and Arkham's Astrolabe to just like replace itself and gain another turn. I think that's a fine world to exist. Though I guess like if you ban Wall, they just play Archaeomancer. So like there's multiple versions of all these effects. It is really tough to bust up these loops. Blue-Red didn't even play Daze. That's how I know you're lying. And if your Tron deck got Dazed, you deserve to lose. Also, for what it's worth, I think AK is a more busted draw or a more powerful draw engine than Gush in a control deck. Like Blue-Black Delver obviously is gonna miss Daze and Gush desperately, but Blue-Red's Gred just didn't even want Daze anyway. Keep. So I think I have to sprawl on one so I can scout plus armor on two. Yeah. Gotta hope this works. I have to name white. So now to bust through their loop later, I'm gonna need to draw a red source and a red card. Enjoy. Alright, let's go. Yeah, this Ash Baron's Tron deck. Just getting multiple snowlands of various colors. Alright. So I can play around something like Curfew here, or I can just slam damage onto the board. Yeah, I also like slamming damage. Alright, so they are... With a land, they're dead next turn. Is this Seagate Oracle? Oh, Compulsive Research. Alright. They die to a land off the top. Oh wait, no, they're dead to just Dillo Cloak straight up. Alright, we win. Oh, and we drew the land anyway. Oh, we would have needed double white. Never mind. Right, good thing we have Dillo Cloak. Wait, this does exactly +4. Ethereal Armor does a lot more. I'm not convinced any of this matters, but I am gonna do the thing that does more damage just in case. Yeah, Cloak is plus... Oh, yeah, because there was already an armor. Yeah, they were both super lethal. Didn't matter. All right. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Cartouche can kill Stonehorn Dignitary. Like, I'm just trying to think of... Like, what's a low-cost way to... cover my bases here? Like, low deck building cost wise. Spider Umbra, not super exciting in this matchup, other than being a 1-cost card. But they're not going to be destroying anything. Alright, let's go. Yeah, Cartouche might be able to break up. Like, if they have to Stonehorn Dignitary on 4. Alright, here's this hand. Slow and steady. But not for my opponent. Okay, they have Ash Barons and not Map. I'm happy every single time this happens. All of these games, they've tapped mana on turn 1 and then just done nothing instead of doing something. Alright, I'm gonna do the thing that does the most damage quickly. So I can still use all my mana next turn by playing my tap land and Rancor. I could also spend this turn fixing my mana and drawing another card. That makes it... then I can armor and Rancor next turn. Yeah, I actually like that better. I believe that does more damage. Yeah, it immediately recoups the Rancor damage next turn with the armor hit. Oh, another abundant growth, sweet. Alright, so... wait, I can enchant any land. I'll just play this. Alright, so if they have a counter spell, they'll probably crack it off on the first thing. Just hope they don't have one, I guess. Or they don't play Edicts. Or Wing Shards. I think that's only uncommon, though. Wing Shards does not exist in Pauper. Alright, we're super set up to cast any sideboard card. Oh, Celestial Flare. There is a small Wing Shards you can play. So I am crunching for roughly 1 billion next turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can put lethal on board next turn. Hopefully they just like compulsive research or something. Fucking Christ. Let's draw that cartouche. Show him the door. That wasn't it. Alright. Fling. Alright, we can protect ourselves from an edict in case they have one. A teachings package could represent anything. Alright, now they just get to turn on Tron. Though it's awkward because I have to tap 2 Tron lands to do it. So they'll have 5 mana to work with. Just gotta hope that one of them's not a flicker. Because this Ancestral Mask is not quite lethal. Oh, they tap their 2 towers and not their island? Okay. And I guess if you have Ephemerate, you can do whatever you want. Fling. Fling. Alright, my creature is super lethal if I ever get an attack step. So now we just have to draw a sideboard card. That's the entire game. Sideboard card. Don't get an attack step. Ugh. This is abject misery. This card is bullshit. This engine is bullshit. People are complaining about Arkham's Astrolabe, and you can still play Mishra's Tower. Or Urza's Tower. Okay. Reasonable concerns about the format from the Peanut Gallery. The artwork is bullshit. He is a rhinoceros. And I guess everyone's scared to attack when he's around? Is that what's going on? Alright. Rhinos don't have necks, and it's also under his armor. Have you ever seen a rhino? Alright, so Fling and Dispel are cards I want to draw right now. That's not it. We're flashing back teachings for the other flicker. This is why I think you have to play blue cards in Pauper if you want to be competitive, because of stuff like this. Like, their deck would have died to a Dispel, like a single Dispel, single counter spell, they would be dead. But instead, here we are with our stuff. Yeah, I mean, if I had a deck that had 12 points of burn in it right now, we'd be okay. Because now I don't even think that Fling is a good draw, because surely they have a counterspell by now. I would still take a Fling, don't get me wrong, Jack. Fling. Fling, one-time dealer, Fling. Nope. Whoops. Alright, now this thing is large. Just in case. Cycle some more Ash Barons in your Tron deck. Good job. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get Reanimator up next. This attacking business has been awful and no fun at all. Yes, please. Yep, Ephemerate. I am going to play to the Fling on this one. This is it. Like, this is my whole league. Win or lose right here. Wonder how many of these they have after board, because they had it on turn 4 when they were dead. So, not that it really matters what the math is on that, because they did have it. Like, a 1%er that hits, they still have it, but all of our opponents have drawn much better than us, though, which is a common theme in my life. And there's still a teachings in their graveyard, too. So even if we draw Fling, they can teach for a counterspell if they have one. Yeah, alright. Fuck it. I'm off it. Over it. Wow, that was no fun and unsatisfying. Who chooses to play Bogles on purpose? Who lives this life? We're done. Off it. Alright. We got Esper Reanimator coming up next. That deck should actually be sweet. Just gotta finish copying the list. I had to copy it by hand from Twitter instead of just like zapping it into Moto. So it's going a little slower than normal, but we'll get it there. Gurmag Angler is in this deck. And Shrivel. And I had all the sideboard cards. Missing 9 cards from the main deck. Alright. Let me acquire these cards real quick. Then we can play Reanimator. Hopefully win a match. Which was not on the table for Bogles tonight. Breath of Life costs 1 cent. That's what I like to see when I'm building decks. That's the great thing about Pauper. Like, you might occasionally get got by some, like, $3 card, but mostly Pauper is completely affordable. I also love that first Sphere of Gargantua is in this deck, because Chris and I have been trying to build with that card. Like, that was the beater slot in the teaching stacks I played in the Pauper League. Like, the second Muldrifter, the second Muldrifter in the deck I played in the Pauper Premier League, which was this list. The second Muldrifter has been a lot of things in our testing. And I determined that I just wanted the second Muldrifter over all other possible options. But first Sphere of Gargantua is on our list there. Alright, so I've ordered the cards we need. They should be here in a minute or two. I also have Capsize. We're back and forth between Recoil and Capsize in real life also. Like, Recoil is better on turn 3, but Capsize is better on turn 10, obviously. Like, Capsize can actually take over a game completely, but Recoil... Like, Recoil, you can hit a bounce land on turn 3 and get them real good. But really, the value in bouncing a bounce land is that it's the time walk effect. Well, Capsize would have won me that game too. Like, I would have just cracked it off on turn 3 either way. The fact that Ricardo discarded a lightning bolt on turn 3 to hand size didn't affect the game. It was just like there's going to be a 3-mana bounce spell in this spot, but the debate between Recoil and Capsize is just like, which one is actually better? I also love Recoil. I like Recoil more than I like Capsize as a Magic card. Just like, when you put this on the stack and your opponent, who is not over 30 years old, has to read it for the first time, it's a great feeling. But Recoil does hit Guardian of the Guild Pact. That did not come up in our conversations. That is a big plus. I guess having a main deck gold card is pretty hot. Yeah, that might be a reasonable tiebreaker, just hitting Guardian of the Guild Pact. Alright, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. Hopefully these cards will be delivered when I get back. Alright, I'll be right back. I've returned, and it looks like my cards are here. Chris and I have also been talking about Striped Riverwinder in the teaching stack. It plays kind of like a Mole Drifter slash Bastion Inventor hybrid, being that you can cycle it early and win with it late. What we didn't like about Gargantua in the teachings deck is that the command is card, Alex, exclamation point card, and then whatever you want to show us. Problem is that Gargantua in the teachings deck costs 6 on the front end. That one could be defensible. Thank you. No, I mean in the teachings deck. Like we're just looking for ways to clock better. All right, what do we need? Exhume. And breath. The monstrous cards are interesting. Problem is that neither of those do anything on the front end. Like, they just are creatures. Like, it's turning on removal in a deck that otherwise mostly ignores removal. Nesvian Asp is great. I'm a big fan of asping. Alright, I think I want 3 Thought Scour, 1 Brainstorm. Oh no, why are there 61 cards in this deck? What have I done? Time to consult the list. Oh, I didn't cut a Brainstorm. That was the problem. Alright. Got it. Alright, let's go play some Reanimator. Alright, time to put Ulamog's Crusher into play. Maybe I can crush some Tron lands with it. Annihilate some Tron lands. That's all I want to do in my life. Speaking of Tron, since we had the teachings deck up, I am probably going to at least 3 Spreading Seas in this sideboard moving forward, because Tron is such a nightmare matchup. I didn't play them in the PPL because I didn't think anyone would play Tron that night. But, like, probably something like this are just going to become 3 Spreading Seas. Get rid of these 3 things. I really hate Tron. If that hasn't been clear yet. Tron sucks. Gastu7, thanks for the follow. Alright, just waiting for this match to fire. Alright, Reanimator. This is what we're playing. Let's get the whole deck on the screen. But we have an opponent. It's time. Alright, I've never... Not only have I never played this deck, I've never played anything like this deck, and I don't think I've played against this deck. So we're going to be learning from zero. Luckily, Alex is here to tell us what to do. The 3-4 league record is good stuff. All right, so we have 3 blue cards and 2 non-blue lands. This hand is a mulligan in every world. All right, this hand is a keeper. It's got a preordain. Yeah, Pauper tomorrow night at Clubhouse Cards, by the way, in Pittsburgh. If you're a local, come hang out. It's gonna be great. Yeah, bottom swamp. And I'm gonna play the Scoured Barons. Oh great, now we're gonna lose to Bogles. After 0-3ing with Bogles ourselves. Echoing Truth is a good one against Bogles, though. You can just randomly knock a bunch of damage off their guy. Yeah, so since it came up, ooh, we're halfway there. Yeah, since it came up, Clubhouse Cards in Pittsburgh. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm gonna foil anything they cast and make an Ulamog's Crusher next turn. So Clubhouse Cards in Pittsburgh runs a free Pauper tournament for store credit every Tuesday night. Store's great. Everyone should go if you're local. All right, how greedy should I get? Do I crack off on this? All right, yep, we're doing it. Island and Ulamog's Crusher in the bin. All right. All right, we chose correctly. We did it. Oh, baby. I know, foil is ridiculous. That was not... Since they banned Gush, foil isn't a playable card anymore. It's a shame, really. Oh god, are we gonna die to Mask right now? Okay, Sky Visor's fine. Alright, so I can attack, annihilate some permanents, and I can Echoing Truth that Rancor in their next combat step. So we should be able to figure this one out. Oh wait, I need to Truth first? Do I die if I do that? Alright, so... Yeah, they do just sack them. I guess I'll do this first. Oh, has to attack. Don't even have to click. It knows what it's doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They could win the race because they have double Rancor. That's kind of gross, actually. Yeah, they just have a million permanents. I don't think we're winning this. We're not winning this. We're dead. Yeah, I think we had to attack and hope they didn't see the sack 2 Rancors line. Yep, just dead. Bummer. Yeah, we get good sideboard cards at least. The Astrolabe Skyfisher got them out of that. right out of that. So we get Shrivels. Oh man, we get 4 disenchants. All right, Into the Royal is not good here. Truth. I don't think we want to try to fight their hand. Are we trying to shrivel them? I don't think we are. Like, we don't care about Bogles in play as long as they don't have any pants on. But Shrivel and Negate are options. So is Duress. Yeah, Dispel does not have text. That's 3. Yep, this does not have any targets. This does not have targets. Alright, so that's 5 for 5. I think we're good here. Cut Deep Analysis? What are we bringing in now? Is it Shrivel or Negate? Or Duress? Like, all of these cards are defensible. I think Duress is the worst of them. Oh no, alright, yeah, we get to keep Deep Analysis. Alright, let's go. Alright, let's try to execute that combo 1 turn earlier. Alright, we got Foil. We have Fragmentize. God, this hand is awkward. I don't think this is keepable. This doesn't do anything. Oh, we get to Brainstorm 2 Crushers? Or Brainstorm 1 Crusher. I'm gonna keep this. Though it might be a mistake. I'm willing to believe it. We have 3 cantrips. Yep, this hand's gonna be very different before we actually start taking game actions. I'm gonna bottom one of the Crushers, because I shouldn't need 2 unless they have Graveyard Hate. I'm gonna scour myself in their end step. Hopefully find a second land to brainstorm with. Land straight to the graveyard, the classic. Alright. We need black mana and white mana. Alright, so Crusher is obviously going back. And I think we need to Alchemy 4 mana on the next turn. Maybe Fragmentize has to go. Because we can actually cast Truth. We can't cast Fragmentize. Yep. Alright, we just gotta draw a basic swamp. We got 3 swamps and 1 Ash Barrens left in the deck. Yeah, the mills are free. Like, we know what cards they are. We know we'd rather have one of them in the graveyard. And then we get the Thought Scour draw and draw for turn. Get 2 looks. Yeah, I like those odds. Me too. I'm gonna have to. And then the turn after that, we can Forbidden Alchemy for a land if we still need it. Oh, there's foil. That's interesting. Bummer. Alright. So Echoing Truth can keep us alive if we need it to, and then we can Forbidden Alchemy for the basic swamp and win. There's an extra permanent for them to sacrifice. All right, I'm gonna have to fog this. Okay, so here's the thing. I can just go to 4 and Forbidden Alchemy, and if I hit Basic Swamp, I can Exhume and get him with a Echoing Truth next turn. I like that better. I'm just gonna have to take my medicine here. Come on, Swamp. Oh no. Oh no, look at all these good cards. Yeah, you gotta play to win. You don't play to fog. Because I'm required to take this land. God, Leave No Trace would be so fucked. Yeah, I mean, I have to take the land, but, come on, Swamp. Alright, so we have the Echoing Truth to not die. And then we just die on the previous turn because a 13/13 is bigger than Ulamog's Crusher. Yeah, we just had to find Basic Swamp there. And now they also have a flying creature. I guess ripping the other Leave No Trace is also a theoretical out. Still can't do that. So if I cast Breath of Life, we get an 8/8 and then we die. And we're dead. After getting easily 0-3'd with Bogles, then we instantly lose 2 Bogles. That's magic, folks. Where is this deck? There it is. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 black sources. We're 1 and 3 with Bogles. Is that how we're reading that? I'm in. We're 1 and 3 with Bogles. Yeah, they just raced us twice. We could have made a Crusher, it just wasn't good enough. That double Rancor. Yeah, maybe I should mulligan better. I don't know. Maybe. Alright, so we have 1 Plains, 1 Basilica. The white cards are only Breath of Life and the sideboard cards. I'm trying to figure out how we get just more black sources in this deck. Like, maybe some number of these should be Dismal Backwaters. Because, like, Exhume... Like, all your best draws involve Exhume. So having more black sources... We have more black sources than white sources, but it's like... We might have more white sources than we need. So Ash Barrens... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we only have 1 more black source than white sources. 1 island into backwater? That might be okay, but we have foil now, so we need some number of islands. I think maybe it's Cove becomes backwater. Though in the sideboard games, I guess you want the white early when you need it. So yeah, there's some give and take there to figure out. But I think we want more main deck black sources. Black. Alright, this hand is capable. So I'm gonna bottom Echoing Truth. Because especially in game one when I don't know what they're doing yet, I just want my cards online. I have 2/3 of my combo active right now. I'm gonna preordain this turn so they can't spell stutter sprite me next turn, if that is what they're doing. This is Reanimator. Yeah, we just got raced by Bogles. We made Bajuka, or we made Ulamog's Crusher twice and just died to their bigger creature. Yeah, I know. Exactly. You're here just in time to appreciate that. Alright, we're playing against a real deck. Watch out. Yep, this is an Astrolabe deck of some sort. I'm playing the island so I can counterspell an Astrolabe. I think if they had Astrolabe, it would be... If it wasn't in play already, they certainly would have played it pre-combat here. So they might just have an awkward draw. I'm going to save the Preordain for next turn when I can continue holding up Counterspell. Like, I don't want him to be become the Monarch or anything either. Alright, so there's the cards they played. Wait, they revealed a foil and they did not play a foil, so I think they have another land in hand. Which would line up with the fact that they haven't played any spells. Oh, Echoing Decay is a good one. We have the Breath, so, and we don't have a monster. And they're gonna have a Seeker, so we don't want to Exhume just yet. I'm gonna pass here. I'm still more worried about them playing a spell than about their Seeker attacking. Yeah, there's the foil land that we knew about. I'm certainly not going to decay this thing during combat because they can just bolt me for a huge blowout. I can try to decay it in the end step though. Hopefully they just play another one and they don't have an instant. That's the world I want to live in. What are the chances that this deck just has nothing right now? It's kind of funny if they have to counterspell this because any instant is effectively a counterspell. Like Lightning Bolt counterspells this. Ice. Alright. I'll float blue to send a message. Getting your Crusher iced is kind of lame. I'm glad we got that out. I could brainstorm with this floating mana. I could also just not. But I'm gonna. Maybe we can set up a Thought Scour here. Into the Royal. Alright, we're a long way away from doing anything here. We can Royal this Seeker in their end step though and start saving some damage. We can even protect it with this spell. Do I have to counter this? I think I do. They've been playing this whole game really hampered. I don't know yet. But Careful Study certainly is more linear. The Brainstorm Thought Scour looked really great last game, but Careful Study would have been better this game. Alright, we'll be able to dispel an Ephemerate here. That feels good. I love having blue cards in my deck. It's a shame we're dying to this 4/4. And now we can never cast Exhume because they have Muldrifter. If we get the Bajuka Bog off the bottom of our deck, we could still be live for that. Yeah, best brews. They topped one with Preordain. I'm just going to take my 3. We're pretty close to being burned out. And they're at 27. Ugh. Where's that Echoing Decay? Alright, let's go into the Royal. Alright, so in order to have any chance in this game, we need to put an Ulamog's Crusher in the graveyard, get white mana, and also resolve a 4-mana spell. Maybe we can find white right now. They probably can't beat this thing. Ah, that's so bad. I guess, like, the question then becomes Muldrifter versus Striped Riverwinder. I guess we're dying to this Seeker anyway. I really don't want to give them a Muldrifter. Yes, this is Chris's invitational card. Oh, that sucks so bad that we don't have white. Alright, I guess I have to give them a Muldrifter, because I'm just going to die to these Seekers if I don't. If I had 2 creatures here, this would be fine. Or, yeah, there's a lot of ways where this would have been less terrible for me. But unfortunately, that's not... None of those ways are the world we live in. Yeah, finding this early would have been great too. We haven't seen this card at all yet. Yeah, Chris, all your favorite cards are in this deck. Is Riverwinder, First Sphere Gargantua. I think the Counterspell package might be the weakest part of this deck. I'm sure we could build the main deck to be a whole lot faster than it is. It's like setting up into a control role in this world seems pretty bad. All right, let's hope they don't have a single lightning bolt. I'm not sure if it's Lotus Petal fast, but it might be. Like, definitely like Careful Study fast. Like, I'd rather have more cantrips than counterspells. And the only counterspell I really want in this 75 is probably Dispel. Like, if I do what I want to do, then it should not be beatable. That's the point of a Reanimator deck. In, like, Foil gets a special pass because of its bustedness. Alright, yeah, and that kills us. And we're dead. Foil is not clunky. Foil puts Ulamog's Crusher in the graveyard where you want it. You missed game 1 where we just like foiled a spell on turn 2, discarding Crusher, and then exhumed it. Like, I think we need to up our island count, keep the 2 foils, and make this main deck faster. Like, just turn these into careful studies. Yeah, Chris, they had double Rancor, so we weren't actually annihilating anything. We were just attacking for 8. Alright, so against this deck, we want our removal spells. Do we want Fragmentize? Do we want to try to punish these Astrolabes? Looting and Lightning Axe, that's pretty sweet. Are there any other black reanimation spells, or is it just Exhume? I think I want my counter spells out. Yeah, you gotta respect the relic. Do we bring in Truth too? Just anything that can answer relic? Alright, yes, Through the Grave is not a playable one. Alright, so I gotta cut 2 more cards here. I think... Why would I bring an Echoing Truth and cut into the Royal? That doesn't make sense. Alright. I gotta cut 1 more card. Yeah, Alex and Chris, I'm glad you two are in the same place for the first time, because you two would get along swimmingly when you talk about Pauper deck building theory and going deep and going crazy. You two are 2 peas in a pod. God, I gotta cut another card. I'm running out of time. God. Get in. Submit. Alright, we did it. And I have to keep. I have 2 cantrips, 2 lands. Forbidden Alchemy and Thought Scour. Alchemy seems good. Thought Scour seems better. I wish I had a 3rd land. I would have kept the Alchemy. But my hand's already a little clunky and I need a swamp. Yeah, cycling Riverwinder seems like the best turn 1 play this deck's capable of. Punished instantly for my play. I Thought Scoured first because that sees more cards, but then I milled 2 lands, drew an Exhume. Oh, my opponent kept a 1-lander with Preordain. Alright. Let's just cycle into Swamp right now and win the game. Nope. If they were smart, they'd be discarding creatures. I think Street Wraith is probably really good, because... Alright, they figured out how to discard creatures. Now we're in trouble. Yeah, Street Wraith seems really good, because we just want consistency, speed, and creatures in the bin, and that does all 3 of those things. Alright, we should be able to win this here. Unless they have foil. Riverwinder should be able to beat Seeker of the Way. especially with this Echoing Decay in our hand. Yeah, I think Breath should be a backup plan at best, and we should just be trying to turbo the Exhume. Alright, well, I'm looking forward to fragmentizing that. I think I should scour me first. Ooh, that's even better. The one-up Gurmag Angler is going to come do some damage here. One, two, three, four, five, six. We can kill this Seeker whenever we want. Alright, there's Glint Hawk. It's fine, Alex. I will take any win at this point today. We are 0-4. Just put a W on the board, and I'm done complaining. They can get mana screwed again. I don't care if we have a turn 2 Crusher and they never play a land. I'm gonna fucking put it on the scoreboard, man. Alright, this should be safe with them tapped out. Alright, cool. Can't imagine how they would get out of this. And I'm not gonna show them any more cards because they are at 10. That is their life total. And that is the power I have in play. Alright. Well, Zuckerberg's already watching my stream, so that's not a problem, Crab Cake. I know he tunes in. I wish he would make some donations, though. Bean Devil, did I thank you for the follow? I don't remember, but thanks for the follow. I know I was mid-sentence when you followed, but glad you're here. I'm gonna submit the same deck here. Yeah, Bezos is in fact watching. Hey Bezos, since you don't pay taxes, how about donating to the stream? I'm paying taxes so you don't have to, buddy. Throw me a thank you. You rich bastard. This hand is not great, but like I don't think we can mulligan it. Yeah, just ship me $1 billion donation. That still doesn't even cover the money he saved by not paying taxes last year. So, I mean, it's basically free for him. Yeah, this is an awkward one for us. And they're going off over there. Ugh. Ash Barrens is my arch nemesis. Like, I want to get black here, but I also just need to cast Preordain. I could try to Preordain for a land, but if I miss, then we're just way behind. I think I just have to get Island here. Yeah, I know, Van Wedge, I'm being greedy. I should just be a good poor and cut my own hair and walk to the bus stop. Alex liked preordain into land. I don't know. I live in fear. Let's just hope we find a black source. Not too late. Bummer. Could just bounce this jerk right now. I think that's fine. Yeah, I guess we can breath next turn. Yeah, Riverwinder is the best card in this deck. Jesus! No! Not like this. We were close, team. We almost did it. I mean, I guess I'm gonna force this pop. Don't have a better plan. Van Wedge, I wouldn't be sad to find that 50 billion that Bezos lost. Just in a bag in the woods. Oh, he doesn't even need the Relic, he has Counterspell. I think that's really greedy. I don't know, maybe it's not. Maybe it's perfect. Alright, so now we've transitioned into the cast Ulamog's Crusher plan. Yeah, again, being punished for the 3-color mana base. We're just 3 land drops away from crushing, though. So, get ready. And this Echoing Decay, if we find black, will be pretty good. It'll buy us a lot of time. Ugh. And they played Ash Barrens. Why would they do that? Just because they have Astrolabe and just don't care? I guess they can hold up Dispel and pop Relic if they need to this turn. Yeah, they have a Counterspell, but what is it? It's got to be Dispel. Alright, show me the Dispel. Oh, I guess I need to play that Swamp, huh? Just having it isn't good enough. Oh, Ephemerate, okay. Oh, actual. Oh, yeah. They. I guess that does make sense. They have Astrolabe. Which Counterspell? No Counterspell. Fair. Okay, yeah. They definitely probably have also Counterspell in hand. Just 2 lands away. We're on a 5-turn clock, and we're 2 land drops away from Ulamog's Crusher. I hope I just draw Garmag Angler and punish this slow relic they've been doing. They bottomed. I'll take that. Alright, how about a Doomblade? That's not what I wanted. I don't care about the stack anymore. I need to answer the board. Yo, having careful study in the deck would certainly make these kind of draws a lot smoother. Gurmag is my best draw. Doomblade's my second best draw. I think we're dead. If we believe that they have Counterspell, which they have telegraphed, then we're dead. Gurmag could still save us, but that's the only thing. Also, if they could just cast one more spell this turn, because they have the Astrolabe, and if they get one more, that's 4. And any spell. Alright, there it is. Alright, off to a good start here. Alright, 0-5 today. Time to rally back. I also have the wrong deck on CBL. Let me update that for you. Alright, this is what we're playing. Waiting for an opponent. Sorry for my silence, just clicking around getting this set up. Alright, the correct deck should be on CBL now. Alright, we're on the play. We have black mana in our opening hand. This has never happened before. Let's see if we can pay it off. So our best draws are Sidewinder. Ooh, Gurmag's interesting. Gurmag is a threat, but it's a very slow threat. Oh, Alchemy is a good draw, for sure. Alright, so hopefully this Alchemy can set us up before it's too late. Is this the same Tron person from earlier with the weird Tron deck? I think it is. I can Echoing Truth a map this turn, that's kind of funny. Oh, this is the FAMS deck. Damn. Maybe we can crush this. Though Snap is very good against our deck. We need to find a hexproof creature. I guess I'll put the counterspell in my hand. Showing him the Exhume. Oh no, Dispel's better than counterspell. No, it doesn't have anything on board yet. I could hit a creature. Yeah, I'll take counterspell. Putting Exhume in the bin shows him what we're doing, which is kind of a bummer. Oh, fifth card down, never fails. Faithful. That's okay. God damn it. That's super annoying, because now it's in the graveyard. Exhume is just bad. God, Muldrifter is so good against this deck. Is it defensible to play a deck in Pauper that is bad against the best creature in Pauper? I'm just gonna counter this, try to slow him down. Wish I had that Gurmag Angler. One, two, three, four, five. Still miles away from flashing back. Which deck? My opponent's deck or my deck? I don't know anything about the history of this archetype, honestly. But there's one Bajuka Bog in my deck to make Exhume playable. Oh, Echoing Decay does not line up against this deck either. Yeah, I mean, we probably need Graveyard Hate in the main to make Exhume playable, because every opponent who's evoked a Muldrifter against me is just like laughing all the way to the bank. Ugh. Is this familiar deck even good, or is it just good against decks that I like to play? Yeah, I thought it was, but I keep losing to it, so who actually even knows? Oh, there's the Bajuka Bog. That hits the Muldrifter and a Moment's Beast and a Deep Analysis. I'm in. Go, Spicy One of. It's definitely brutal that their deck plays Snap. Yeah, I was shipped this list and I already have a million ideas how to improve it. Snapping Muldrifter, okay. Alright, that's 2 snaps down. 2 to go. Yeah, a group text has been formed between Chris, Alex, and myself. I see the notifications popping up on my phone, but I'm not involved in it yet because I'm busy, but Oh, I guess we could have done that, because I'm stupid is the real answer. I just got... Yeah, I was busy interacting with chat and not thinking. I'll do it next time. Because I just have all the time in the world against this deck. You know, I also don't really want it in the graveyard, but I don't know. Alright, so I could just jam Crusher, but they play 4 snaps and 3 walls usually. Right now, the graveyard is clear. Yeah, we could also just die. All these things are possible. That was a good draw. Maybe. We'll see. Well, there's the Denizen. Do you really want to mill me? Alright, there's the wall. So it doesn't even matter what I do now. I guess they're down to 1 blue mana. Oh, this will take them up to 1,000,000 blue mana. What are they snapping? Snap targeting wall? All in, I guess. If they have a flicker, we're dead. Oh, they didn't. Interesting. Oh, they just had multiple snaps. Alright. Okie dokie. So I'm getting used to life in Pauper when I'm not blue-red. Because blue-red control can never, ever, ever possibly lose to that deck. And I've played 3 decks now in the past week where I've lost to the Familiars deck 4 times with 3 different decks. I don't actually want decays. Yeah, getting used to the New World Order where opponents get to do stuff. Yeah, Pyroblast is one of the best cards in Pauper. Are we ever going to have time for Breath of Life against this deck? No, Crusher is such a coin flip because it sucks to get snapped. Duress isn't great. I don't know. It's all rough. It's all bad. Snap is such a ridiculous card against this deck. Everything is terrible. Everything hurts. And those are their best cards, but they need spells to pay off with them. And the Duress is more to buy space for me to win. This is so close to a turn 2 thing, but we have the Guildgate draw. So it's going to be a turn 4 thing instead of a turn 2 thing. Yeah, jamming more graveyard hate into this deck, giving more black mana. Alright, so we have a turn 3 River Serpent, or River Winder, whatever this thing's called. I don't really want to bog them yet, but I'm gonna have to. Gotcha. Or something. How about you don't have Relic? One time in my life. But then they get to know what's coming. Like, I'd rather try to surprise them a little bit. Like, if they knew that they needed, they might get exhumed. Like, if I miss and then play Bog as my second land, then they know 100% exactly what's happening next turn. And they know that they have to, like, preordain for a Relic or something. Alright, so we've had almost the best draw our deck is capable of. Let's see if it is actually any good. Alright, if we draw an untapped land, alright, that's not an untapped land. We could scour our way into, or I could brainstorm to set up a future scour. I guess I like that. Oh, nice. Alright, so Crusher on top. And I guess we could just draw Gurmag. I'm not going to need this alchemy. I'll just put that in the bin too. And Snap makes all of these cards so much worse. Maybe I should just draw Alchemy and hold up Counterspell now. Because on the following turn, I can Exhume with Counterspell backup. Just hope that I put Alchemy on top. Alright, I did. That was lucky. Like, Stonehorn Dignitary is a problem. Triple Familiar, my goodness. Alright, all their spells are completely free, basically. Oh, we got another one. Get to go again. Can't tap that one. Alright, so that gives them a snap target. Yeah, the person who shipped me the list recommended that the careful studies that we try a brainstorm thought scour split instead, but I definitely want the careful studies back in. Alright, they're out of blue mana. They bottom the first preordain. They kept one on top here. We have one counter spell to try to fight through this. Are we gonna get to Annihilate? Nice. Annihilator 2 on the stack. Yeah, this deck definitely needs some filter ability, like get cards from your hand into the graveyard. Alright, so I can cast Gurmag and Dimir Guildmage while still leaving up Counterspell. I'm not gonna bother with the Guildmage. I'd rather bluff that I have two things. Guildmage doesn't change the clock. If they can't win this turn, then they're dead. Alright, we did it. The second best draw our deck is capable of was able to limp over the finish line. Alright, I think I like this configuration as it is. The 0 snaps drawn from my opponent was a nice change. Yeah, I agree that this deck is very bad at playing any sort of fair game. Speaking of fair games, ugh. We have the Bog, which is important. We have a counterspell, but we need to set up... I guess like we're just a Thought Scour away, really. Or a Serpent away. Yep, no way to kill that thing. I guess we have one Doomblade. Yeah, Careful Study would make my life right now. Provoking Muldrifter. I'll fight over that. This like Ash Barrens is kind of awkward. I don't need to bog them yet. Just hold up this negate, I guess. Another one of those. Alright, that one's good. Alright, their engine is getting online. We need to find some pressure, like, ASAP. Alright, 2 counterspell options available now. It sucks that Breath of Life is only your graveyard. I would love a Muldrifter right now. And this game is going exactly the same as the last game, except we don't have a 5/5 hexproof in play. Which means it's worse. Thought Scour is my best draw, I think. Alright, I'll take a Duress. See what you got over there. Negate, huh? They're worried about Duress. Snap, Dispel, Preordain, Return to Nature. I think I want to get rid of the Snap, right? Or Return to Nature is pretty good too. Oh, their whole hand is just great. Just Muldrifter, 4 spells I'd love to take. Snap is the thing that lets them do whatever they want. All right. Congrats on your unbeatable hand. God, this deck. All right. Now they have a clock. And we know they still have Dispel in hand. And Return to Nature. I can't imagine how we ever win this game. Alright, we're just dead. I'm not gonna try to fight through this, because we can't. Alright, 0-6 on the day. Good run so far. I think there's prizes for 2 and 3 with the New World Order. Alright. We're gonna try to salvage the 2 and 3, just because I want more reps in with this deck, so I know exactly what sort of problems I need to fix with it for the next league. Remember that time we 0-3'd with Bogles and then instantly lost to Bogles when we switched decks? That was great. So, already I know I want some Nile Spell Bombs in this deck. I want Careful Studies in this deck. I think I want Street Wraiths in this deck, probably over Gargantua. In this, like, control package, I think is all probably a mistake. I think I just want to go fast. We need more islands if we want foil. Like, we lived the dream once. We had a, like, turn 2 foil, setting up a turn 3 crusher. But there's... the deck isn't really in... I've never been in a spot where I want to start holding land drops so I could foil. Sweet. Let me know, Chris. Yeah, Chris and Alex are working hard behind the scenes on fixing this list. Chris and Alex both like Gargantua a lot more than I do. This card looks good, but I'm not convinced that it is. Chris is obsessed with it. Oh, no opponents in the 0-3 bracket? Come on, Moto, pair me up. Give me a 4-0. Let me dream crush. Alright, good. I'm glad we're there. Yeah, I think the only counter spells I want in this deck are Dispel and maybe Foil. Foil might be too cute, but it also might be busted. It's hard to know. Alright. A worthy adversary has been found. Two Thought Scours and an Exhume? Fuck yeah. Let's draw a swamp. Snow-covered island, imagine that. What a surprise. So I'm not going to scour on my turn, even though that guarantees it resolves, because I don't want them to know what they need to dig for. I mean, it's probably bad. Foil might just be too cute and bad and should be Dispel. It also might be completely busted. We'll find out together. There goes our swamp. Ooh, Riverwinder's good. I'm gonna cycle Riverwinder first, because if I find black, we're all set up. Alright. Did not find black. Perfect. And they're just gonna have Tron, turn 4, ready to go. Heaven forbid any of my opponents ever stumble in their development. The difference is that they're playing tuned good decks. I'm not just blindly tilting. I can see. Alright, so what are you doing with your 8 mana on turn 4 with perfect colors available? Nice deck. It's a reasonable thing to exist. So once again, punished for not having black mana available. Now I'm sure they're holding up just like teachings for counterspell or whatever. Like literally anything that they want to do is available to them. Perfect. That's what I needed. I wonder if we can just cut the white entirely. Just max out on enemy graveyard hate so we don't get punished by exhumes. Oh good, now they have Prohibit up. Well, Crab Cake, it's not a 3-for-1 if you discard a monster that you want to reanimate. Like that's the thing. Like if you discard like Ulamog's Crusher and Island and then just exhume it, it's insane value. But the question is whether or not that's too cute. Great. Alright, just fucking dead. Yeah, I understand all of the reasons foil is not a good card. But specifically in this context, yeah, it might not be cute enough. That could be the actual problem. Negate, counterspell. All of my echoing things and removal. I really hate Breath of Life. Alright, let's turn 2 Crusher. Yeah, in a deck that wants to exhume on turn 2 or 3 as often as possible, there are definitely not enough untapped black sources in this list. Especially since you need blue mana to set up any of those turn 2 or 3 monsters. Like, we should be trying to max out on basics. Right, this hand's pretty strong. It needs an exhume, but we have a duress and 2 monsters. Maybe we'll be able to duress a map and they won't have turn 3 Tron for the first time ever. Well, it's a safe bet they won't have turn 3 Tron with that island. Dispel, Alchemy, Prism, and 2 mines. Getting rid of Prism. Perfect. Well played, opponent. Just drew the card we duressed, but better. Alright, let's just draw Exhume here. Come on, Exhume. Still not Exhume. I guess I'll Alchemy on their turn. Or they might evoke Muldrifter this turn. Which is great, because they'll probably think that makes Exhume good. Or Exhume bad. Alright. Ghost of Darkness, thanks for the follow. Alright, yeah, they went for the Muldrifter. So we have a window here to Alchemy for Exhume. Breath doesn't do it because we don't have white mana. 5 looks at Exhume. 6, because we can cycle Riverwinder on our own turn. What are they doing? They've already made a land drop. They don't play 0-cost cards. Why isn't it my turn yet? Let's go, opponent. Yawn. Yawn, yawn, yawn. Boring. They're probably booting up the stream. Yeah, they went to take a poop. Which I wouldn't mind as long as they're gone for 10 minutes or more. I'll take my wins how I can get them today. Ugh. There's Breath of Life that I can't cast. And there's Ash Barrens, which can help me set up the next Breath of Life. Basilica also does this. I think I just want Basilica here. Because, what are there, like 4? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 white sources in the deck. And 2 of them are right here. I think I want Basilica. Come on, Exhume. I'm giving my opponent a lot of time here to answer my graveyard, which I'm not a fan of. Yeah, they should poop while F2ing. Those are the rules. Alright, so we know they're holding Dispel and Forbidden Alchemy. That's a sweet one. Ooh. Now we're close to doing something here. So next turn, I want to Breath next turn with Counterspell up. That's my master plan. So that does give them an extra turn to find an answer. Teachings hit the bin. The fact they played their second mine last turn, though, makes me think that they are trying to hit land drops. Alright. I don't care about map. Alright. Continue digging. Ooh, we drew foil. That's pretty cool. 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4. Play the swamp because I need the foil. All right, let's crush. Dispel does not help you here. Dispel will hit my counterspell, though, if they have 2 points of interaction. My opponent's like, what? That's an uncommon. Look at the little sword man running out of this old monk's breath. In the middle of a battle, no less. It's like, hey, I'm just a monk. There's lots of scary guys with swords. I need a little white sword man. Alright, come on, opponent. Are you dead or not? Get out of the tank. Condescend for 3. Wrecked. Alright, so now we have to turn this Crusher sideways. I think 1 time should be enough to gain a significant advantage. And they have Dispel, so if they can, like, find an answer... Alright, that's not gonna do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. Bang, bang. Foil! I foiled your plans, opponent. Genrova Horror would have been super fucked up, though. Yes, we got a game. Yes, that little sword man grew into a large crusher. Alright, maybe I just need all the reanimation spells. I'm just priced into it even though I don't like them. So that means the worst card left in the deck is... I don't think I want to cut any creatures. Ugh. There's so many cards in this deck, and all of them are so medium. They're all like so good and so bad at the same time. Yes, opponent did glower at their Dispel there. You're never safe. I don't know, I think Breath is just still the cut. I'm keeping this, but once again we need black mana. Story of our life. We have a foil though, so if we find black mana and a monster, we could just light it up. Alright, so I'm gonna mill Crusher and draw Swamp. That's the plan. Come on, dealer. Nope, milled 2 of my minuscule number of black sources. Alright, well, let's at least get white online. Kagesuro, the Miracle's Mirror is kind of a shit show. Like, you're only ahead if you have Narset or Teferi. Like a mentor is never really safe. Like, you're basically in the Legacy Miracle's Mirror. There is no slightly ahead. It's either like the board is at parity or someone is running away with the game. And there's not much space in between. And Mentor is usually not involved in a runaway game. in either direction. Like it's usually Narset, or like you stick to Fairy, which lets you stick Narset and then you're running away. But it is really hard to tell when you're ahead in that mirror. Perfect. Yeah, now foil looks really bad because I have the island, but I don't have a monster. It's fine. Monster swamp. Oh, we got a monster. All right, we're gonna need this. And I'm gonna get rid of that. Now I'm gonna skip my land drop on purpose here. Try to set up this foil. Definitely feel like we're very, very, very dead here, though. This Pauper deck looks amazing, but it's not. It needs a lot of work. The core is probably there, but it's medium minus. Swamp? That is for sure not a swamp. Alright, so foil is back on. I'm gonna discard one of these exhumes, because we're not gonna need two. God, look how good this hand would be with black mana. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know if breath is important or like this list has clearly tried to do a little too much. Like you could build a yeah, like that might actually be the solution, just like Astrolabe for the white splash. As gross as that is. Yeah, right. We'll fix this Reanimator deck by replacing the lands with Snowlands and Astrolabe, and then we'll replace the other cards with Tron lands, and we'll replace all the cards with Mnemonic Walls and Dinarova Horrors, and then we've got a much better Reanimator deck. Right on time. Wish I could spend a turn duressing, but I can't. Yeah, this is Esper Reanimator. Though it won't be for long. This was an untuned list that a friend sent me. And we're dead. Alright. Well. So I just spent the last 3.5 hours going 0-7. I've never done that before in my life. Feels bad, man. But we learned important lessons. One of them is never play Bogles. It's terrible. The other is how to tune this Reanimator deck. Yeah, Chris wants me to check the list. The updated list. So let's see. Yeah, we definitely need a strategic shift. I'm working on getting it up here in a readable way. Alright, here's Chris's updated Reanimator deck. One plains, 5 swamps, 6 island, 2 ash baron, effectively more plains and swamps and islands. Dispel. Oh god, Chris with your Trinket Mage package. Come on. Get serious. Alright, Putrid Imp is nice. Gargantua. Zoom, Scour. Chris puts 2 Trinket Mages and an Executioner's Capsule in every single deck that there is. But in general, I like this sort of plan better. I'm glad Van Wedge is here to add more important quotes. Yeah, so I'm gonna... Chris and Alex, in the last hour and a half I've been streaming, have been firing back. I think I have like 150 notifications between them. So I'm gonna get caught up on this conversation and probably try Reanimator again on Wednesday or whenever the next time I stream Pauper is. But I'm done for the day. The 07 run, it was serious. I can't come back to that. My mojo is dead. So hopefully a lot of important lessons have been learned about how to lose with bad decks. And the lesson is play good decks. So that might sound like I'm just being snarky, but there's a lot of value in not trying to get clever. Like Jerry Thompson famously, back when he was dominating the Star City tour, he would just tune the best deck for whatever format he was playing for what he expected that weekend. He would change like 5 or 6 cards and then win the tournament. And compared to the people who just have to build their own wild, unique, wacky deck every single time, they're working too hard. I personally, my recipe for success is just find a deck that's really good and get really good with it, rather than get wild. Though I appreciate the brewers that are out there. Chris and Alex are both definitely brewers, but I'm a cook, they're a chef. So they have to write the recipe, and then I'll whip it up real nice after that. But I'm not much of a brewer, and the 07 run today with decks I've never played before should lend itself to that. But I'm gonna log off for the day, and I'm gonna work on this list though. I'm gonna keep talking to the Chris and Alex about it and try to make this better, because Reanimator is super cool. I hope it is viable. Alright, let's see who is online that we can raid. Oh, Eric Landon. Obviously, we like Eric Landon. Let's go hang out with him. Alright, thanks for hanging out, everyone. Goodbye.